Hi guys, today I decided to make a video for this lesson, which is Unit 1, Activity 5, the cosine law. I'm going to try to do some lessons for you as videos, just because then I think it might be a little bit easier for you to follow the lesson. So what you have done so far, you should have done trigonometry, which is sine, cosine, and tan, and you should have also done sine law so far. So these are the two things that we have done so far. Again, it's trig ratio, so sine, cosine, and tan, so katoa, which we can use with right angle triangle, and we also have done the sine law. Today we're going to look at cosine law and when do we use cosine law and how to use it for solving sides. So cosine law can be used when you can't use the other two, trigonometry and sine law. I personally feel that it's always easier to find out if you can use a cosine law versus a sine law because there's only two rules to use cosine law. But anyway, let's start. First of all, to use cosine law, you need to have an oblique triangle. So a triangle that's not right angle triangle. All right. Now, if I look at this triangle here, I have triangle ABC. I know side C, and I know side A. All right. Now, and I know angle B. So looking at this triangle, I know that it's not a right angle triangle. So I can't use SOHCAHTOA. I can't use Pythagorean theorem. Now let's see if I can use a sine law. So for the sine law, you need an angle in its opposite side. In this case, I don't have that. I have this angle and only this angle, angle B, but I don't have its opposite side. In fact, I'll be looking for that opposite side. So if I'm looking at this, what I have here is I have two sides, which is side C and side A, and the contained angle. So we call this the contained angle. So in the case when I have two sides and the contained angle, this is where I have to use the cosine law. So what is the cosine law and how can I use it? Because I know the two sides and the angle between them, so I know side C and I know side A and I know angle B, I'm looking for side B. So in this case, because I'm looking for side B, the formula is going to look like this. It's going to be B squared equal to, I know side A and I know side C. So that's going to be A squared plus C squared. So part of this example or part of this formula comes from Pythagorean theorem. So it's B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus, here's the addition, 2AC cos B. So this is the formula for cosine law. Now, this could be called whatever letters, right? I could have a triangle with letters, that's a bad triangle, X, Y, Z, right? I know side Z, I know side Y, I'm looking for side X, then the formula is going to stay the same. So basically I know angle X here, right? The formula is going to be X squared equals to, because that's what I'm looking for, Z squared plus Y squared minus 2ZY cos X. So no matter what letters you have, or no matter what information they've given you, as long as they have given you the two sides and the contained angle, then you can use this formula and you can change the letters the way that you need to change these letters. So what you have to be careful with all the time is that the side that you're looking for matches the angles given to you. All right? So let's look at some examples here. All right. So in this case, they use the formula C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cos C. Is it the same? Yes, it is. still the same. It did not change. It's just I'm looking for side C now in this case. All right. So what would be so the question here is asking you, the triangle displayed below represents how the sides would be named in triangle DEF. State the cosine law to find side D. So to find side D, what do I need to know? I'm looking for side D. What do I need to know? I need to know E and F, and I need to know angle D, right? So I need to have these. These are the given. So D squared equals to E squared plus F squared minus 2EF cosine D, right? So you can rewrite these formulas with any letters, with any given information. All right? So here's an example. So what I have here is I have triangle XYZ. They gave me side X to be 45 centimeter. They gave me angle XZY. So in order for you to know XZY, that means the middle letter is the actual angle. So that means angle Z is the angle 42 and Y is 27. So remember that the side represents the side Y is across from angle Y, side X is across from angle X. Okay, so what I have here is I have two sides and the contained angle, so I can use cosine law. I need to solve for side Z to 1 decimal place. So here's what I need to do. Side Z squared equals to x squared plus y squared minus 2xy cosine z. Let's plug in the information. X is 45, so I'm looking at 45 squared plus 27 squared minus 2 times 45 times 27 cosine angle 42. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode, so it should say D on the top of the calculator, or so it should say DEG or nothing, okay? If you're having problems in setting your calculator, make sure that you email me and I will help you go through it. Now, in order for you to actually find this, solve for this, what you need to do, and what I recommend that you do, I recommend that you find each one of these separately. So you do 45 squared in the calculator, you do 27 squared in the calculator, and then you do all of this together in the calculator. The reason for that is sometimes the calculator does things weird. And then if you don't enter it properly in the calculator, especially if you have a backward calculator, they will not work, that will not work properly. Okay, so what I need you guys to do is I need you to, for the sake of making sure that everything is correct, do them separately. So find 45 squared in the calculator and then press equal. So that's going to give you 2025, and then plus do 27 squared on the calculator, and there's 729. And then you're going to do the 2 times 45 times 27 times cosine 42. And that's going to give you, try to get it to 2 decimal place or 3 decimal place for now, because we're going to have to round at the end. So now if I add all of these together, that's going to give you 951.2 or 0.158. Now we're not done yet. So if I look at this, this is z squared. I need to find just z, okay? To find just z, you need to square root And then once you square root, that will be the answer. Okay, so you're going to do the square root of the answer, and that's going to give you 30.84. So that's going to be 30.8 centimeter. Okay, so make sure that you follow the steps, as I said, and so you're not making a mistake. Okay. So this would be another example here. So you have to try it. One thing that I need you guys to be careful with here is once you do, if on your calculator, if you do cosine 149, that's going to be a negative. So if you do the cosine 149 on your calculator, that's going to be a negative. So that's going to force this to become a positive. So what you're going to have is 1,024 plus 1,444. And then it's going to be plus, because cosine 149 is going to be negative 0.857 multiplied by 200, or negative 2,432, and that's going to give you a positive 2,084. Okay, so be careful. Anytime that you have an angle that's greater than 90 degrees, when you do cosine of that angle, it's gonna be negative. Okay, and then negative and negative makes positive, so that's why here it's gonna be positive. So be careful when it comes to this. Let me just go back here. Okay, so this is basically the lesson. This is the formula that you need to you need to be able to write it. If I give you some kind of information, if I give you, for example, different letters, and I ask you to find this letter, this side, you need to be able to work with your letters to come up with a formula. All right, and you need to be able to solve, and make sure you don't forget to square root at the end. Hope that was helpful.